this girl had distance going on, third party going on, no contact going on, back and forth. So she has been through it all and she still manifested her specific person. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be reading and going through 3 success stories that I have found online. I will of course leave the link to those in the description below. Let's get to the story number 1. This one is called "The Ex Texted After 2 Days." So the person says, "Back in 2022, I was manifesting an ex of mine back into my life. We were in no contact as well. I was absolutely crushed. I found myself crying quite often, but I never let my mental state waver. Sure, I had doubts at times, but I would make sure to return to my chosen truth." So there was third party and they were in no contact. Whether it was through affirming or scripting, so they were doing many techniques, I returned to what I had decided to be true. Even though there was stuff going on in the 3D, the person knew that they just have to keep pushing into believing in the new story no matter what they're being presented with. Long story short, my ex posted a picture with his then girlfriend and it sent me into an emotional spiral. I cried my eyes out, then went on a whole affirming rampage up until the moment I fell asleep. So if you have seen my video where I have previously shared my own success story with robotic affirming or affirming myself to sleep, if you haven't seen this video, I will leave a link in the description down below, or you can click here in this corner. A day or 2 later, I see that I have 3 texts from my ex. His girlfriend cheated on him that very night that he had posted the picture. Did I expect that? No, absolutely not. So this is a great example that shows you that when you want something and you keep believing and repeating the new story, the story that you want, the things are actually going to shift and they are going to match whatever the story you keep telling yourself. So even though she didn't expect it to go in that way, she didn't affirm for the girl, for the new third party to cheat on her SP. This was just bridge of the events that had to happen in order to bring her specific person back to her and remove the third party basically. He then went on to tell me that the entire relationship was horrible. And the timeline of things perfectly matched up from the very first moment I decided to lock the F in and quit entertaining doubts and fears in my mind. They broke up and my ex was consistently showing up exactly how I wanted him to. So she let go of the hows and whens. She just knew that this is her specific person and no matter what happens, things will align to match the new inner state. We were also in different countries, by the way. Oh, so this is really good. Great example that circumstances don't matter. This girl had distance going on, third party going on, no contact going on, back and forth. So she has been through it all and she still manifested her specific person. Once I manifested him back into my life and asked back in contact, a month later, I manifested a trip to his country and spent 5 wonderful days with him. So she literally went from drama, separation, no contact, third party distance to manifesting, getting him back into her life and also a trip to his country. So even though distance may be a problem in many cases that I see, including my own back in the day, none of this matters truly at all. If you want something and you keep living in the end feeling like it's already true, already being grateful for it, you are going to manifest it, but you cannot give up. You cannot let a 3D circumstance or condition mess with your head and your emotions and your state of being, because every circumstance is not permanent. None of these circumstances are permanent, and things can manifest and come into fruition within a matter of days, weeks, sometimes even hours. It all just depends on your internal beliefs. If deep inside you believe at some point that you are unworthy of your specific person, of the love that you desire, then you're not going to manifest what you want. It's the law. It's the law of assumption, and the law of assumption works 24/7. It never stops working. You never stop attracting. So if you don't have the thing that you want in your 3D, somewhere, somehow on subconscious level, you still don't believe that you are worthy of the things that you want. Then she goes on saying, throughout his relationship with his girlfriend, he wouldn't stop thinking about me or comparing her to me. Damn. There were times throughout the relationship where he'd randomly call me out of the blue, etc., etc. So yes, your SP does instantly receive thought transmission, what you're affirming, visualizing in real time. So this is why it's so important to always return to your truth. Remember that your specific person always feels what you're affirming, what you're thinking. So if you're telling yourself, even if you're in no contact with your SP, even if they are far away or if they have blocked you, it does not matter. Your specific person always feels what you're telling yourself, believe it or not, because beliefs create your reality. If I had seen that story, allowed myself to entertain a victim state and dwelled in it all night, things would have played out very differently. But since I consciously chose to return to my decision, the 3D reality had no choice but to reflect it back to me physically. Exactly. The 3D always reflects what you're giving out, what you believe in all the time. The law does not operate on logic. This is a really important sentence. There is nothing logical about manifestation and spirituality. That's why sometimes it may be conflicting. Our mind is trying to convince us that this cannot be achieved. Specific person is out of my life permanently, this and that. I had absolutely no idea that things would unfold the way they would that specific night. They looked so happy and in love, so logically they seemed out of touch to assume something like that would ever happen. But I stuck to my truth despite feeling like shit, and things unfolded perfectly. So she kept persisting and believing that her specific person is meant for her, they are meant to be, and that no other circumstance can get in a way. She just was 100% convinced that this is her person, and no matter what happens, she is getting with her specific person. Remember that the law and manifestation is not logical. So if your brain is trying to tell you, to protect you, that this is too good to be true, do not listen to what your mind is telling you. Just know what you want, believe that you deserve it and that it is possible, because anything is possible. And as you can see based on this success story, things can align in ways that you could have never thought of. All you have to do is decide what you want, keep affirming, living in the end, and leave the hows and whens to the universe. Now we are moving on to success story number 2. So this person says, I decided to manifest my SP, a guy from my university I barely spoke to before. So I started affirming that he was obsessed with me and loved me. And within just a few days, he started walking me home from campus, followed me on Instagram, texted me every day, flirted with me, and even asked me out on a date. So again, she assumed, she kept affirming to help her live and be in the state of wish fulfilled, and the 3D had no choice but to catch up to her dominant beliefs that the guy is obsessed with her and in love with her and fancies her. And now we are moving on to the last story, story number 3, which is called The SP Came Back in 2 Weeks. So, what finally made me get my specific person? The realization I wasn't manifesting for them to come to me. I was manifesting an identity switch. This is a really good point. It's not about waiting. Everyone is pushed out. It's about changing your identity into believing and knowing that you are worthy and chosen of the things that you want. It's not about changing your specific person. You're not forcing them to do anything. You are just jumping into the reality where the person is already in love with you and wants you as well as much as you want them, without manipulating the 3D or forcing anybody. Basically, we've been in a tug of war relationship since forever, and then I realized I always felt like I was giving more. So she realized that she was the chaser in this dynamic, and so instead I started affirming I never wait, I trust myself, he's more interested in me, he always asks to see me. In the past, it would take about a year for him to come around, and when he did, I didn't realize I was still repeating my old identity and still affirming the old story. Now he is the one chasing me, and came back in within 2 weeks and said everything I wanted to hear. And now I'm staying persistent in the new story. So this is a great example of deciding to stick with a new story and completely letting go of the old story. It's helped me release the past and burden I've carried for so long, and now I am back in my power. The point I'm getting at is that this is about you, not anything, anyone, but you. So this was another SP success story type of video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one, check out my Patreon for exclusive content, sign up for my one-on-one email coaching with me, and I will see you in the next video.